Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing very fine. And I'm back with yet another video with some more information. And since I feel it's going to be a little longer, let me start off with the presentation straight away. And I'll welcome you with my banner. Welcome to Eloquent English Enterprise, to my old family members and all the new subscribers who joined in the last 1 week. Thank you so much for being with me and for trusting whatever I present before you. So thank you so much once again. And today's topic is phrasal verbs, right? So if we talk of phrasal verbs, firstly, we'll have to discuss what exactly are phrasal verbs, right? So phrasal verbs are a combination of a verb with either a preposition or an adverb, or maybe both. And these together create a new verb with a meaning different from the individual words. Okay, when we take the examples, it's going to be clear to you. So they're very common in English, of course. We use them without understanding or without even knowing that these are phrasal verbs, especially in the informal context. So let's see the examples like pick up, break down, or turn off. Now, pick up is like picking up, of course, you pick up something. But I can say I have picked up Punjabi in the last 1 month. Or you can pick up the threads from where you had left earlier. So here you're not picking up anything. It's just that you're starting again. Then break down. She broke down when she heard about the tragedy. She did not break, she did not go down, but we use breakdown. Similarly, turn off. When a student performed badly despite our expectations, we felt a bit turned off. So there's no switch which is being turned off, but it's just a way of conveying our feelings or the situation. So out of these phrasal verbs also, there are a few pairs. I'm going to discuss only three today because of the paucity of time. There are certain phrasal verbs which sound the same, but they are not the same. So we'll discuss a few pairs that most people struggle with or they are confused about. So understanding these distinctions are going to help you to communicate more precisely and avoid misunderstandings when you use them again. So the first pair that we have is, or the two phrasal verbs are, to end up and to end in. Now, to end up means to reach a final situation or a place, often unexpectedly or unintentionally. For example, all of the buses were cancelled, so we ended up walking home. We not expected to walk back home, but since there was no transport available, we ended up walking home. So this is end up. Then to end in. This means to have something as a result, often used for negative situation or events. Something ended in. What? For example, to end in a disaster, divorce, failure, or a tragedy. For example, his first school project ended in failure. He made a project but could not succeed. So it ended in failure. Their marriage ended in divorce or in a divorce. So end in usually has a little negative kind of touch in it. So when we use this phrasal verb, we usually have to end in along with a noun which follows it. The match ended in a draw. Draw is it's an abstract noun. So the match ended in a draw. So to summarize, we can say to end up is where you finish often by accident. It's unintentional. And to end in is how something concludes, usually in a negative manner. The next pair is to look up and to look for. So to look up means to search for information using a specific source or tool, for example, a dictionary or a computer or an encyclopedia. All right. So, yeah. Now, for example, I often look up the meanings of new words in a dictionary. I look up, I search for meanings in a dictionary, or I'm not sure what time does this shop open. I look it up on the website. So, because I am not very sure about a certain information, I'm going to look it up on the website, on the concerned website. I hope I'm not going too fast and you're able to understand. Okay. To look up is a separable phrasal verb. Like when we did the first one, to end up or to end in, we could not separate. It's like end in or end up will have no word in between. But to look up can have a another word in between. So it's a separable phrasal verb. I'll clarify. The object can go immediately after up or between look and up. It can be both ways. All right. To look up, I look up for meanings. But when I use the second statement, I will look it up on the website. So it is a pronoun which has come between look and up. If the object is a pronoun, it has to go in the middle. You can't say look up it. It has to be look it up, right? I hope it's clear. I often look up the explanation of various experiments in a science encyclopedia, or I'm not sure what time Vande Bharat Express starts from Chandigarh, so I'll look it up. Separable phrasal verb. I'll look it up on the IRCTC website. Okay, so look for can also mean to expect or anticipate something. Like, for example, the boys outside are looking for trouble. I mean, they're doing something which is going to end up getting them into trouble. To seek out qualities or characteristics, like what you're looking for in somebody. So what are you looking for in your future partner? Okay, you're searching for a bride or a groom. So what qualities are you looking for in the person? Look up also means to improve or get better, right? For example, things are looking up. The situation is improving. To visit someone, I'll look you up when I come to Delhi, or I'll look you up on my next trip to Mumbai. To literally raise your eyes, actually looking up. Everyone looked up when she began to sing beautifully or mellifluously. Right? So now let's come to the third pair, and this is to take down or to take off. So to take down means to remove things that are placed high up or fixed, like decorations or wall art. Like we all decorate our homes whenever there's a birthday party or some celebration. And later, when the party is over, we take down everything. We don't take it off. We take it down. So we took down all the curtains before the room was painted. The room had to be painted, so we took down the curtains and all other accessories that needed to be taken down. Now to take off, how is it different? This means to remove shoes, accessories, or clothes, right? For example, we take off our shoes before entering a temple. We don't take down our shoes. We take off our shoes before entering a temple. And I'm not saying take off. Off is O-F, and when it's O-double-F, it's off. We take off our shoes before entering a temple. She took off her jewelry before going to sleep. It would have hurt her otherwise, right? Okay. Now take down. Take down also means to write down or record information. For example, let me take down your phone number, or you can take down notes as I am dictating, as I'm speaking. To defeat or bring someone to a lower position. Example, the wrestler took down his opponent. He put him to ground, literally. To dismantle or demolish a structure. The old dilapidated building was taken down last week. It was it was put down. It was razed to the ground. R-A-Z-E-D. It was razed to the ground. Okay. Take off also has many other meanings. For example, to leave quickly or suddenly. He took off to the US without bidding us a goodbye. He just took off without informing anyone. To become successful or popular, her career took off for good after that performance. Her career became successful after a certain performance. To depart, especially for an aircraft, that's easy. The plane took off at 3 p.m. Take off has many other meanings as well. To subtract or deduct. Take 10% off the total price of this item. Before you buy, we are going to take off 10% from that. So this is deducting the price or reducing the price. To have time away from work, that is also take off. I'm taking off a day from work tomorrow. So taking off from your work. All right. So thank you. I hope it was a fruitful session, short, crisp, and clear. You can replay if there is any confusion. And if you wish to have some more pairs to be discussed, I do have some more in my kitty. So if you wish me or you want me to discuss a few more pairs, you're most welcome. So let me know through the comment section, through the comment box. If you liked it, do give me a few likes, your thumbs up. It really makes a lot of difference. Good and positive compliments. Another, they charge me up. And of course, do share with like-minded people if you deem it fit. So till we meet again, it's me signing off. Bye-bye. Take care. God bless you all.